In a land of endless savannas and golden sunsets, there lived a young princess named Anaya. She was beloved by her people for her bravery and compassion, always striving to help those in need. One day, while exploring the abandoned archives of her family's ancient palace, she stumbled upon an unusual amulet hidden beneath centuries of dust. Intrigued, Anaya grasped the amulet and was suddenly engulfed in a blinding light. When her vision returned, she found herself in a strange yet enchanting world. The sky shimmered with shades of emerald and gold, while rivers sang melodies as they wound through lush valleys. In this magical land, Anaya met a warrior named Tau. He was unlike anyone she had ever known before. Tau exuded a calm strength, and his laughter was as contagious as it was comforting. Their connection was instant, and soon their friendship blossomed into love. Every night, Anaya would clasp the amulet and return to Tau's world. Together, they roamed sparkling forests and danced under the stars. However, over time, Anaya noticed that each visit drained her vitality. In her own world, her once radiant skin began to dull, and the energetic princess found herself walking with an exhaustion she had never known. With each passing month, it grew harder for Anaya to keep her secret hidden. Her older sister, Princess Kaida, began to suspect something was amiss. One day, Kaida entered without knocking and gently asked, "Anaya, what are you hiding?" With tears welling up in her eyes, Anaya whispered, "Kaida, please, you can't tell anyone. It's complicated, and no one will understand." Kaida, still in disbelief, softly replied, "Anaya, you can't hide this forever. The truth will come out." Worried for her sister, Kaida took Anaya to the kingdom's elder, a woman known for her wisdom. The elder examined the amulet and revealed its curse. Each moment spent in the enchanted world shortened Anaya's life in her own. Torn between love and life, Anaya stood at an impossible crossroads. As much as she longed to stay with Ta, she could not ignore the needs of her people and the love of her family. For the last time she visited Ta, with tears streaming down her face, she shared the curse of the amulet and her decision to leave. Ta, though heartbroken, understood. He gave her a small pendant made from the rarest stone of his enchanted world, a piece of their love that she could carry with her forever. With tears in their eyes, they shared one final, lingering gaze before Anaya sealed the amulet, cutting off the connection to the parallel world and to her time with Ta. Once Anaya closed the amulet for the last time, life at the royal palace slowly returned to normal. The 22-year-old Anaya did her best to focus on her duties as princess, but her heart ached with the absence of Ta. Then something unexpected happened that changed everything. Anaya discovered she was pregnant with Tao's child, a man no one in her world knew, not her father, King Makalo, nor her mother, nor even the elder who had first told her of the enchanted amulet. The realization sent a whirlwind of emotions through her, joy that she carried a piece of Ta within her, but also fear and confusion. Anaya knew she needed answers. There was only one way to uncover the truth, to open the enchanted amulet once again. Despite the risks, her love for her unborn child drove her to return to the parallel world. She opened the amulet and stepped into the shimmering twilight of that strange world. But this time, everything was different. The magical world appeared dimmer, and Ta was nowhere to be found. Anaya searched tirelessly, her heart growing heavier with each passing moment. Just as she was about to give up and return, she saw Ta in the distance. Their reunion was bittersweet, filled with joy and tears, but overshadowed by the knowledge that their time together was limited. Anaya told Ta about their child, and they shared a moment of profound love and unity. However, they both knew their time was running out. In her world, King Makalo, worried about his daughter's mysterious disappearance, entered her chambers just as she was about to leave the parallel world. Shocked and confused, King Makalo instinctively closed the glowing amulet, unknowingly trapping Anaya in the alternate world. In a parallel world, unable to open the amulet once again, Anaya and Ta faced an unbearable reality. They were together, but in a place where Anaya was a stranger. The thought that she would never see her homeland, her family, or her people again was too much to bear. In search of answers, Anaya and Tau stumbled upon an ancient prophecy, whispered by the sages of the kingdom. It spoke of a ritual that could unite the worlds, but at an unimaginable cost: the life of someone from the parallel world. To bring Anaya back to her world, Tau would have to sacrifice himself. This decision tore at their hearts. Tau's love for Anaya ran as deep as the rivers that shaped his world. He could not bear the thought of her and their child trapped in a foreign land. With courage and devotion, he chose to make the ultimate sacrifice. Under the crimson light of a blood moon, in a sacred grove hidden by towering trees, they performed the ancient ritual. As they began, Tau's life force started to fade, slowly at first, then more rapidly. Tears streaming down her face, Anaya held him close, whispering words of love and eternal gratitude. In his final moments, Tau looked into Anaya's eyes, his heart breaking with sorrow but filled with peace. His sacrifice would ensure their future, even if he could not share it with them. As his life slipped away, a shimmering portal materialized. With Tau's essence and their unborn child within her, Anaya stepped through the glowing portal. Just as Tau's last breath escaped, she found herself back in her chambers, the amulet now lifeless and dull. Upon returning to her world, Anaya faced an unbearable burden. In her heart lived not only the memory of Tau, but also his child. Fearing scandal and endless questions, she decided to keep her pregnancy a secret. She wore flowing gowns and avoided public appearances, hoping to conceal her growing belly from the watchful eyes of the kingdom. But secrets have a way of being revealed. One day, while changing in her room, Anaya's sister Kata entered without knocking. Kata's eyes widened in shock as she saw Anaya's rounded belly, the truth that could no longer be hidden. Anaya stood frozen, pale with shock, as she heard the words, "Anaya, you're expecting a child?" Tears welled up in her eyes, and she whispered softly, "Kata, please, you can't tell anyone. It's complicated, and no one will understand." Though surprised, Kata gently replied, "Anaya, you can't hide this forever. The truth will come out." What they didn't realize was that their mother, Queen Abena, had overheard the entire conversation. Standing at the door, hand pressed to her mouth, she was filled with worry and confusion, but she didn't intervene right away. The heavy burden of the secret weighed on her, and after days of contemplation, Queen Abena found the strength to speak with King Makalo. In a soft yet firm voice, she said, "My king, there is something important you need to know about our daughter, Anaya." King Makalo, sensing the gravity in her voice, listened intently as Queen Abena revealed the truth. He was initially stunned, but his love for Anaya remained unwavering. He knew he had to help his daughter. They summoned Anaya, who stood before them with a heart full of fear. "Father, mother, Anaya began, but her words caught in her throat. King Makalo, with concern and warmth in his voice, said, "Anaya, my child, we know about your situation. You don't have to carry this burden alone." Queen Abena added softly, "We are your family, Anaya. No matter what, we will stand by you." Months later, Anaya gave birth to a healthy baby boy. She named him Tau, in honor of his brave father. The little prince had his father's eyes, and as he grew, it became clear that he had inherited not just Tau's looks, but also his courage and kind heart. Anaya often told the young prince stories of his father's heroism and love, ensuring that the memory of his sacrifice would live on in their hearts and in the history of the kingdom. I hope you enjoyed this story. If so, please subscribe to our channel and don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I post another video like this one.